Okay. Of course, we're here for the budget. And I think the most important thing today is see what different departments are thinking about next year, about this upcoming year. So, is there anywhere in particular, Megan, you think we need to be looking at?
So the draft of the budget that's provided is an extremely rough draft. That's something that Travis kind of helped to last minute design so that we would have some figures to go off of. So ultimately, all those numbers are subject to change. Well, like you said, what we really want to focus on is kind of the departments and their input and what kind of additional expenses or maybe expenses that aren't normal to be expected this next fiscal year.
Okay, so the numbers that here are kind of an educated
Right.
guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I think if y'all want to spend a few minutes looking it over, we'll do that, and then we'll talk more about it.
The first 5 pages are all related to the general fund. Past that, there's 2 pages that are related to sewer, and there's 1 page for each road. I know I kind of made a mistake in that, so I just wanted everybody to be aware. Then the last 2 sheets are information that James had provided, and he'll speak to those items once we get to the department. lines, I think one question I have is on the first page under that police salary supplement. I know this year you were able to get 1,600 through Gilmore to both attend the training. Do you
That'd be-
anticipate
Yeah, that'd
next
be the
year's
same.
one? Okay.
What was the question?
On, intergovernmental revenue 33410, that police salary supplement, we got 1,600 this year and anticipate 1,600 next year. So that'll be included in our next budget amendment for the fiscal year 2024 as well.
So that 800 would change to 1,600?
Yes, that's 800 for him and 800 for the online.
But so we're starting on the first page.
We can start, that was just a question.
Well,
Can we start with the fire department, since they're volunteers and not getting paid, and
Yeah,
get them out of here?
absolutely.
'Cause I mean, that's, every time is, they're not getting paid. Does that sound fair?
Works for me.
You good with that, Mayor?
I'm good, yeah.
Alright, so I know that we have talked and I submitted all the paperwork for the next year's, donation or appropriation from the Hawkins County. So I guess what we need to know is kind of what new, expenses might be expected that we would need a budget for.
A fire truck would be nice, but I don't think we're gonna budget for that. I am gonna have to purchase some air bottles within the next year. It should be about a $9,000 purchase there. That's one big ticket item I see. That's due to us not getting the grant that we received 2 years ago. Probably 2 to 3 sets of turnout gear next year that are going out of date. That's about $3,000 a set. That's the only big ticket items that I can see right off.
We don't have no choice on that, do
Those are kinda, and those air bottles are the same. When they hit their 15-year life, they're trash. So,
Well, there's a lot of things with the fire department. They hit a certain date, they're gone.
they're going, you know, unfortunately, kinda hands are tied on that.
So could we do two each year,
To what?
turn out here?
So what we done last time we bought turnout gear was we split it in half at the time, so we bought 5 sets one year, 5 the next, but we've gained some members that have actually went through and got the training, and they're wearing out of date gear now. So, and then we've got one that's going through a 400-hour school right now, so I feel like he probably deserves good gear if he's gonna invest that much time in his life.
So is that something that varies every year that you'll just kind of have to keep us updated on who's going to need to be replaced?
Yeah, I mean, I track it, like we split that up. The air bottles, hopefully I'm gonna apply for a grant for air packs next year, but I gotta have enough to get us through till then.
So how many you think you'll need?
Probably 8 of them,
Okay.
at a minimum, 8 to 10. They're about 800 apiece-ish.
I know something else that you had mentioned is possibly internet at Station 2.
Yeah, so the new Cascade system that we got the grant for, it has to have internet. So we're gonna have to put, so apparently it'll send me a message if something's wrong with it. It tells you then when it needs service. That's how they do diagnostics on it and everything. So I guess we'll be putting internet in at Station 2.
Okay.
Do you know what goal date would you like to have for that to be installed?
We're still a month or two away.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
might start next fiscal year? Okay.
I've been meaning to call you the last couple of weeks, but I've been tied up. And, but anyway, the phone in the training room out there,
Right.
it's not hooked up, right?
No, no.
Okay, you don't need it then, right?
Well, I needed it, but it got cut off.
When did that happen?
I guess whenever they took Verizon out. 'Cause
Okay.
to be a fire department, we're supposed to have a landline number, and then that number was also forwarded to Central. If somebody called the fire department, it went to dispatch after so many rings.
Yeah,
That line had been disconnected prior to my arrival here.
okay.
I'm not sure when it occurred or if anybody was
I wasn't aware it
notified.
had been
or-
disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't you get with Megan, let's get that phone back,
All right.
okay? And then you're gonna need internet.
Yep.
So that, you go through posting.
Yeah. Shane, there was something about signs too.
Yeah, so several of the Sullivan County volunteer fire departments have been visited by OSHA here lately. And the biggest violation they had was not having signage in their department, in their stations, such as carbon monoxide present, compressed air, stuff of that nature. So probably need to get all of our bays, and include maintenance. I kind of went through and figured up all the signage. It'd be less than $200 to get us compliant with signs on the walls.
Okay. No, that's not gonna sound like a big deal.
So,
Just a-
but that was their biggest finding for all the departments, if they didn't have any kind of signage in place.
Okay. So you can take care of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we consistently go over on our maintenance budget, and that's, we got an aging fleet. One of the trucks is completely out of the loop now, so that should save on some maintenance, but unfortunately, we eventually need a replacement for that.
Well, have we declared that old truck
It
surplus?
is, just gotta get it on cut deals and get it going.
Okay. So we're not spending nothing else on it, we're getting rid of it?
It's surplus, it's done.
Okay.
It lived a good life. They bought it new here in '77, so I think that's about all we can ask out of it.
Yeah, I remember when I bought it. It's a big deal in town.
One item, I don't know if we included it on here, starting in June, we're gonna start providing a kind of a medical first responder as well. So there'll be some upfront purchase of some medical supplies. After that, anything we use, Hawkins County EMS will be replacing that. But upfront, we'll have to buy, I would guess less than $1,000 worth of stuff upfront.
You already have an AED?
We have 3 of them.
Okay. Making sure.
Yeah, so that would have been the biggest expense, so hopefully we got that covered already.
No, good. And the county's not talking about cutting the fire department generally.
No, not that I've been
Okay.
made aware of. I probably wouldn't have a budget left if they did that.
Have you looked this over, Shane?
Yeah.
Anything you can comment about it?
Uh,
This?
I know I've not spent, it don't look like I've spent very much at all on uniforms this year, but I try to buy everybody at least 2 t-shirts a year, and a pullover.
Right.
Figure that's the least we can offer. In the past, we've always done something for everybody for Christmas. I don't really know how to. Past 2 years, we've not had the money to provide that, so. whatever y'all think would be a good number to provide somebody for Christmas, or if there's a way to add that in.
Okay.
They put in a lot more time than they had to.
Okay, and you're going to buy everybody what again?
I mean, I
Just
don't-
the shirt?
so that's in my uniform budget, buying the shirts every year.
All right, okay.
I really don't know what to do as far as providing everybody something for Christmas, just
All right.
as an appreciation. If there's a way we can budget for that or not.
Okay, do you do anything now?
We
Shane,
haven't,
Chris?
we haven't in the last couple of years.
You have?
No.
Okay. Okay, there's 50. Excuse me. Hey. It's okay. Yeah, I do that. This shit, I mean, he don't want it, okay? Anyway, Shane, the maintenance,
Mhm.
15,000, is that cover it, you think?
That's probably gonna get us real close, 'cause,
Okay.
seems like every year there's an unexpected something that happens. If we can be a little better prepared for that.
Yeah. Okay, anything you see on here that, you want to question, or does it look okay? Of course, the telephone, and internet, that may be a little different, by the time we get.
As far as the repair and build maintenance, I mean, that's, I don't really know what kind of number to put with that, but I'm sure we exceed $137.
So, in other words, very little's been spent on that.
Apparently. I don't know, we've spent it, I just don't know where, it's not reflecting here.
So you have spent money on the building?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have?
We replaced all the lights in Station 2 last year, 'cause we couldn't see anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe it's under something else.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's probably what it
operating.
is.
Is that what that was? Okay.
How many members we got?
12.
12? Can I ask a stupid question, and it's probably gonna yank a Band-Aid off of a sore subject, but what's the qualifications of service in Fifth Bend? It has to be a paid department?
So, Fitch Bend wanted, the board wanted guaranteed fire protection. Well, as a volunteer fire department, we can't 100% guarantee fire protection. So the city of Churchill, by making all their officers, public works, everybody firemen, they have 24-hour fire protection. And that's how
Let me comment on that.
that's
too.
how they have guaranteed fire protection.
Let me comment on that too, and Murphy remembers too. We spent a ton of money on research, and then Churchill took it over.
I was pretty early in my time here when that happened.
I know there's.
Of course, obviously, we built the station down there originally, and, you know, but is it worth the extra money we get to cover it? I can't say that it is.
I'm just curious, I seen where they were asking the county for more money
Yeah.
to service.
Yeah.
50,000, man.
I feel like they're probably getting plenty, but that's just my opinion, you know. It kind of looks odd when they drive right by us to get there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of those deals that's gonna be hard, something's done, it's gonna be hard to go back.
Right.
Hey, anything else, Shane? Anything you need to discuss, talk about, or ask for, whatever?
I think I've covered most of my big ticket items. I am gonna have to put a new sign in Station 2, that's looking pretty obvious.
Yeah, you know, I've always wanted something.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only thing I've got on my mind, but it'll have to be replaced in the next year or so.
I know one time we got an estimate, a quote, I think, on doing something similar to, I think it's the station there at Alice Kilby, at the top of the building.
Yeah.
Did something like that interest you,
Well, no, because everybody we got to come look at it, the way the gutter comes down, it splits the sign in half,
or,
so.
well, I thought about that, we maybe put
We
something
just-
on one side, I mean, I don't know, it'd
I
make it
think
look.
we decided, since we poured that pad at the road and got scolded good for that, I think we probably need to stick with it.
Okay, so what you got now?
What have I got? Probably just
Sign.
replace what I've got.
Oh, you been out at the road?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
yep, something that's not going, shouldn't cost a fortune.
Okay. I haven't paid any attention, so is that sign,
One side's
Poor
pink and one
condition.
side's red, and, yeah,
okay,
it's leaning to one side now.
right.
One side apparently gets more weather than the other.
Are you gonna work on getting quotes for that?
I can't.
Who would do you have someone in mind that would, could do that?
So Mycroft put the last sign on Station 1. That would be probably the first person I'm looking at.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what they do, so.
Right. Okay.
One more question.
Okay.
Is there anything that this board could do to make you more eligible for more grants? You know, are we not doing something that would,
As far as looking at grants, I feel like we're doing all we can. One of the, something that's our hands are tied to in the past that's killed us on grants is call volume.
just what?
Call volume, we don't run enough calls.
Right.
Well, I think that's a good thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always hurt.
But one thing that we do that keeps us as far as keeping gear compliant, air packs compliant, making sure we test our trucks yearly, that's huge, so we want to continue to do that.
Well, the medical calls, will it increase?
That will increase call volume, yes. So, how many a year? I don't know, I mean, you never know.
Well, the feeling of the board, and I'm speaking for everybody, if there's anything that you find out that we can do to help, don't be afraid to ask.
You know, I'm always looking for different grant opportunities. Unfortunately, some of them are just hard to get.
I know we missed one for $50,000 here a couple of years ago because it didn't get sent in, but
Yeah, that was, out of my hands.
I understood.
Yep, so unfortunately, with this new Cascade system, it will serve better air packs, so when we apply for that same grant next year, I can apply for better packs than we would got to begin with, so there is a little, a little blessing in disguise, I guess you'd say.
You don't like anything?
Yeah.
When you get a quote on the sign, get with me if you don't care before you do that.
All right,
I've just got a couple of things, thoughts I've had,
okay.
okay? I mean, not on the building, I mean, you know, what you're gonna be doing. think that'll do it, Shane?
With the EMT portion of it, do you feel like you'll need an increase in vehicle maintenance and gas as well for that additional vehicle?
So James has provided us a, impound.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run the medical out of that.
But the maintenance and the gas will come out of y'all's
It'll
expenses,
still come
correct?
out of that same expense. Which we should have enough there to cover that as well. Of course, there will be, have to get that car lettered, obviously. So, I'll have to get a quote on that, something I completely overlooked.
Okay, on your lettering and so on your vehicle, is there not an organization that does that?
There's actually a guy in Carter's Valley that we've used to wrap a truck already that's really good.
Okay,
So,
okay. So that benefits. Okay. All right, we'll move on to something else. We appreciate you guys.
okay. Thank you all.
Yes, if nobody said thank you today, this board absolutely says thank you guys. We appreciate it.
We try to give it our best effort.
Well, you do.
No, we're not always the bright and shiny generators of revenue or anything like that, but
All right.
nobody
Okay.
likes the fire department until they need them.
Yeah.
Well, you both
Go
will be
ahead,
grateful
go
for
ahead,
this, so.
Randy, got more?
Yeah.
I got one more question.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, can you all bill insurance companies for the response on fire calls?
So, Farm Bureau for sure, if we submit to them, if we save a structure, we can submit and they have a set amount that they will give. Fortunately, Farm Bureau is not as prevalent as most people would think. I
Is there
think
any others besides Farm Bureau?
I've not checked into it as heavy, but now, there are some items that I feel like we should bill for if we used. I don't know how we would do that, but,
I knew that, I read something where they were paying that, and it might have been out of the Farm Bureau magazine.
I think they'll give you like, don't hold me to it, maybe like $500, which is better than nothing. But I have wanted to look in, like, we've got a foam tote up there, I think it's $5,000 if we use it, so. I feel like whoever we break the seal on that tote, if we have to use foam on their fire, that they should pay for it. I don't know how we would bill for that, or who we would, so. That's one of those things, I've not been faced with it yet, but that would be a hard pill to swallow if we did use it to replace it.
Especially if you was doing mutual aid and had to break it out using it. And then the city have to.
So the reason that we really have it is obviously we have the railroad, plus we have that used oil facility up there. That's our only hope if it was to have an incident.
Okay. I'm just curious, you mentioned revenue, bringing revenue, and I thought, well,
Can you bill the BMA for that?
I don't know.
Service for hazardous materials and railroad and the used motor oil probably falls under that rubric. There's a mechanism for charging for doing that, for that phone.
Should be an hourly rate for each piece of apparatus, an hourly rate for everybody there, and everything else, so it should be.
But you got specialized companies that come in and provide some of that.
Yeah, but initially, no.
No, not initially.
No.
Well, the majority of your calls are going to an insured building,
Yeah.
business or home or whatever.
Yeah. So,
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
Yeah.
I probably will later. I'll probably get her up and we can pass it along.
That's fine with me.
Uh,
Yeah. This is, almost 21 years, this is the first time I've ever been questioned about a budget, so I'm glad to have some input.
Alright,
We
well, if y'all
need-
think of anything else, let us know, because there'll be additional budget meetings, and I can invite you all to those as well, and let you know when they are.
Okay.
And if you can attend, you just send in lists and we'll follow up on it. Alright,
When you talked on clothing, you were talking, is it two shirts a year and a pullover a year or a pullover?
Yeah.
We usually do
Yeah,
it
that's
for
how
like
it
every other
is.
year. Hats as needed.
As needed, okay.
Pretty much 2 shirts. They get shot more out.
I'll be able to see it on. Let's talk, let's talk.
Much longer. Yeah.
Thank
We'll do it to volumes as needed.
you. Sorry. Okay, so what are we going to next?
it don't matter. We just wanted to do them first.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, we go to James, we'll just go to police department.
All right. You can see on the back,
You don't need nothing, dude.
I got it. You can see on the back of the records management system. I understand that times are tight right now, but there's a difference between want and need, and we're past the need.
Now, I'm looking on what now?
At the very back of it,
The last page?
yeah, the last page.
Oh, okay.
You're past the want, you need it now.
Yeah,
Mr. Zane.
I'm past the one page. The sheriff has agreed to let us attach onto his system. Our part of that is $9,000. There's a $1,500 a year service fee. And after the initial $9,000, we just have to pay the initial $1,500 service fee every year. That gets us into the system.
Okay. Now, you're talking about dispatching?
No, that's records management for
The
us.
records, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
And the entire proposal is probably about 30 pages long. I do have it scanned, and I will email it probably in the morning to everybody. That way, if you want to look at it, you can look at it on there. If you need a printed copy, let James or I know, we can print it off for you. But that was just a lot of paper, so that's the reason there's only one sheet included.
So you shaved the tree.
I did.
And then with this records management system, there's gonna be 3 iPads. I plan on using funding from the THSO grant to try to fund those, because we'll be using it for traffic enforcement and stuff like that. And the office computer is 2015 model, so it's done about,
Oh, yeah?
it's getting where it's losing reports. It's just not capable anymore.
So you need a computer.
Yeah.
Have you priced that, though?
About $1,100, I can get a pretty decent computer. My grant funds this year, I'm hoping, if y'all give me permission to apply for them later. THSO, I've requested $10,000, that's $5,000 for equipment, $5,000 for traffic enforcement overtime, which we pay that up front, and we bill them, and then they reimburse us. There's the Tennessee Dangerous Drug Task Force, which I'm applying for now. Once I get y'all's permission, I'm getting the paperwork together. It pays up to $10,000 per officer per year, but I can't see me being here or Gilmore being here that much, so. But it's strictly for, when we come in, all we're doing is working our narcotics leads and doing those types of enforcements. Now we come down to the vehicles. The old Impala out there, you cannot see the light bar when you turn it on. We have switched the light bar. It still does not generate power. The option is changing out the power system, which is going to be expensive and eat into my maintenance. Or I take both vehicles, put them on gov deals and get as much money as I can get for them, And then maybe look at a Ford Explorer up at Eddie's or something like that, and then get a bid on them and try to, nothing new, $11,000. Nothing.
Well, you should be able to get some money out of those too. I think,
Yeah,
wouldn't you
I'll
think?
have to declare them surplus and then put them on the, good deals, let them bid out.
Right.
But anytime somebody wants to come by and look at them, I mean, there's no way I would risk putting somebody in an impound and trying to pull them over. I mean,
Right.
you can barely see that the lights are even coming, it's just lost all its power. The headlight assembly burned out last week, so that's gonna be another expense.
Do you have any idea about how much the Jeep and or the Impala might bring?
It, I mean, it could jump around, do real good, or it could. We had good luck with the garbage truck when I put it on there, so.
Really?
And then, the big band-aid, I guess, is the dispatching service.
Yeah.
I mean, that's $28,000, I don't know where it's going.
Joe had a comment before you got here about that. You want to comment on that, Joe?
It appears that the other municipalities are gonna balk. And as we discussed at the last meeting of the Board of Aldermen, it would be probably desirable for the town to appoint someone, whether it's a member of the board or James or somebody, to participate in inquiring of the other municipalities precisely what they're gonna do, and as a group respond to the request for additional funding by the district. I think all the municipalities are going to be discussing this here very shortly.
I have talked to the 911 board president and voiced my opinions on that. I'm meeting with Flynn this week on Wednesday to voice my opinions. We actually are in the process of trying to get all the chiefs together and Megan and stuff like that, because she handles all the budget money. Having us.
Well, so, put those two together, so we need a group, somebody to get with the other towns and discuss the path forward.
I think if James has already been in touch with any of the other chiefs, Mount Carmel, Churchill, Rogersville, and I guess Bullis Gap, I understand that all of the boards of mayor and aldermen are going to be considering this issue here very shortly. And so it would be desirable for this board to know what everybody else is doing before you take any kind of vote or make any kind of decision.
Did Rogersville even get approached since they've already got their own dispatcher?
They got a bill too.
Okay.
They got Bill?
They're gonna bill like we are. $700,000 altogether is what they're asking for.
Well, so we'll decide who all would like to be part of the discussion with these other.
My suggestion would be you choose one person. So that-
Well, I started thinking we had too many people, I guess.
Yeah, chances are you could.
Yeah.
And, like I say, if James has already been, that'd be a logical person.
Okay.
And then I looked at the budget line items that provided there. The only one I would like to see changed is the uniforms and clothing. That being because you never know at each point when you're gonna destroy something. It won't be spent unless needed, but I'd like to at least have some money in that line item.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, where are you seeing that?
326.
326.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm saying how much,
Yeah,
If it was 1,400, if I could keep it at 1,000 and go from there, that gives me a little measure. Because even if you run a pair of boots, I mean, you're $200 and some dollars up there. And we do stuff, every now and then we run something.
but sometimes they come back, though, don't they?
Yeah.
so you'd like for it to be back at 14?
No, just 1,000. I wouldn't get like
Okay.
1,000. Other than that, if I can keep the electric bill and the water bill under control, I should be good.
Well, is there anything in your fines and court costs that we can raise?
We're looking at a study on that. We're getting other municipalities' rates and court fees and stuff like that, and then we'll just have to approach the board back there.
I know your fines is $50, man.
Yeah, the fine set by the state, or court cost is set by us.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Is there anything in the court costs and so on that we can raise?
I guess probably Randy would be a better answer for that. Maybe I'll get some numbers and give them to Randy and let him look at them.
There's a few things that we could tack on to the cost that the state has gave clerk's offices kind of revenue. Not much, I mean, it's like $5 here, $5 there.
That's $5.
Yeah, that would help pay for the cost, maybe going towards the clerk's salary, you know, to help us pay for Amy's salary or the clerk's salary that tends to all the paperwork that Amy signs.
It may be helpful to have James or Megan talk to the city court clerk in Churchill, Mount Carmel, and see what their court costs are. Because there are a number of these charges if you provide a certain service. It's $2, it's $5, it's $3. But if you write 1,000 tickets a year, it's $2,000 or $3,000 that's generated. But you have to actually provide that service. You can't charge for a computer fee if you don't use computer record keeping system.
That's basically what I was asking.
Yeah, there's data fee money that we can even use to purchase.
There's a program.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I think we definitely need to compare and see where we stand, you know, with some of the other towns.
Well, there are so many of these little $2, $3 fees that it's easy to overlook one that is legitimately an expense of the town. And it's the people that get the tickets are the ones that are the engine of their own destruction. If it costs $2, the general taxpayer should not have to pay that. The person that was speeding or whatever should be the person that pays it.
I guess the only other question I have is like line item 251, it says veterinarian and medical services. Does that count in Humane Society's fees that they're billing us?
Yes.
So they only bill us for $103?
These are accurate information from January the 1st.
Oh,
These are
okay.
not current to date today.
So we'll probably definitely have to up that one, because
Yeah.
the dogs and cats that we're taking in, I mean, we're getting billed for them.
How much you think?
Looks like the 2003 one was showing $3,250.
I think it's either $50 or $100. It's between $50 and $100 for a dog and a cat every each one that we take. And then
I mean,
also,
and it's the season that, unfortunately, cats, it's their time of year.
I think something else that we need to look at when looking at line, or looking at his fund, or his audit for the police department, is previously identified that it appears that everything for code enforcement was also allotted under that object of being police department. I think that's something that maybe we should look at, because we've got the animal, as we say, animal control expenses coming out of there, as well as, the building inspector. Those fees were coming out of that because of the code enforcement wage. So his wages, I wouldn't be certain that all of those wages are actually police department. I think that there were some from our previous building inspector events, some fees in there from safe build or sold inspectors. So I think that we could benefit perhaps from maybe adding another department, whether it be building inspector or just even labeling it code enforcement.
Or miscellaneous or something.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of miscellaneous. I'd like to keep it a department that would be categorized as far as what it's providing to the city.
I would ask that the line item be put in specifically for the building inspector, because most of the code enforcement stuff I do, he just does the inspection.
But
The code stuff, I try to.
I think something else that we had also discussed is that you would need a line item for ammo.
Yeah, the line item for ammo, $800 would be. I bought some year before last, but it don't last that long with training and stuff.
So the next time that we meet and review the budget, I will try to work with Travis to see what the best situation is to get the animal and the code enforcement and the building inspector, what's our best approach for that. To easiest keep track of those items.
That was broke down differently, like, let's say, Tony goes out to catch a cat. Is that billed to a separate department, or is that billed to me?
So whenever we have our meeting, hopefully in June, when we go over the new personnel policy, fingers crossed I have it finalized by then. One of the topics that I plan to discuss is their time sheet and the importance of separating your hours. So this time, the answer's no, it's not being separated. It's getting billed under maintenance.
you need some of the animal stuff is get good.
The employees, the hourly wages that, for their time doing that. And that's something, when, like I said, when we meet in June, that I wanna go over with everybody on how to file a time sheet. Cause just like whenever, if they work sewer for 3 hours in the day, then, you know, they need to put 3 hours under sewer and 5 in the day.
That's what I did when I worked for the city. Sewer, I put 2 hours, 3 hours.
And some do, it's just, I think, you know, it would be easier just to call everybody all at once.
I thought we were doing that at one time, we're still kinda doing it, aren't we?
Okay, sometimes.
And Tony gets like, he goes off a garbage truck and then does sewer in that time, so a lot of to sewer, right?
If it's written on the time sheet, so I think it would be good to have a follow-up education, just to remind everybody of why we want them to do it, that way it'd be accurate.
Okay. Yes, it needs you, they need to show it to you, you won't know, you won't know what that. Yeah, I get it. Okay, James, anything else on?
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, let's see, we go to should go to financial, I guess.
So some of the fee, as far as like the tax reappraisal fees, those things, I've got them all in my handy dandy, folder here, but I have not updated those to correlate, so those are definitely things that are subject to change. The biggest thing that I'm looking into is previously we had our printer services through Rogersville Office Supply. I think we could benefit from perhaps looking into a state contract. So Travis with Impact provided me the contact information, and I called the state today, and he has emailed me a link to review and to get in contact with him. So by our next meeting, hopefully I can propose that or have it at least ready for you all to give your opinions on, to see if that would be a better service for us as far as our printer services go. That's the biggest thing that I see for the financial administration. As far as my CMFO classes and the traveling there, I'm working with the comptroller's office to get the town reimbursed. So the town is paying my CMFO fee for the class, and then they're paying me for my traveling expenses. I created an account online, and I'm working to get that money back. I know that's not a significant amount, but I'm trying to, knock out what expenses I can there. So we'll see if I get that process right. There's really nothing else that I can think of much. I'll be interested in seeing how much we've saved on telephone and internet over the year within all departments. Whenever June 30th comes, I think the change to Holston, Connecticut has been very beneficial financially for the town. And then with City Hall, I know that's our next one, the biggest from that is actually a recommendation from Ferguson. We came in one day over the winter and it was something like 20 or 30 degrees in here, it's freezing cold. He came out and replaced something and recommended a new heat pump. What was it that Ferguson replaced?
Some kind of little relay switch, but where that basement's the moisturized down there, the heat pump is just rusted out. I mean, I don't know how many more times it could repair it.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's been in there a long time.
So that's probably our biggest expense for City Hall that we're just kind of waiting on to happen.
Okay, so the heat pump's okay. We just need to do something downstairs.
It's functioning, but it's probably about past its functionability. I mean, it's just all rusted out. I can take you down there and show you. It's functioning now with the change of this relay switch.
Okay, we don't have, like, the heat pump's just a heat pump for the whole building, right?
Yeah, we don't have separate for top and bottom.
Yeah. One option while we're talking about it down there, apparently there was a time, I guess, they had the gas fire down there, I guess, I don't remember, do you know? But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know if it's hooked up or not, but.
I don't think so.
But
So that's supposed to get reacted, this is what the gas in here.
Something else as far as the downstairs goes, I don't know if y'all have ever been down there and looked around or seen the bathrooms, but they are in desperate need of repair. Whether that be we fix the stalls that we have, or if we knock them down and just demolish and put in one toilet, I don't know, but
they're not in good shape.
They are not.
No.
the wall's not, it's kind of wet and soft in places.
So, is
The
that
floor,
the dehumidifier down
there's not,
there?
that I'm aware of, that I've seen them.
Megan, how much do we charge rent?
$25.
We gotta go up on that. My son and daughter-in-law is charging about $300 for 4 hours.
That one. Even, what are you thinking, 40, 50, or you want your mind?
At least 50.
Okay. That's something we can discuss, I'll add it to the next workshop, yes.
701,
Well,
and under financial
Mhm.
administration, 701. What is that to? I mean,
I have looked it up, and I believe it has something to do with Riverfront Park.
Oh, no, it was 701.
yeah,
That's the historical society. I ain't buying the lot of it.
is that Hopkins?
No, it's Surgoinsville.
Okay. That says Hawkins County Historical Society.
Well, see, 701.
Yeah.
It says HC.
So are we
Oh, okay.
giving to Rogers $4,000 and should they keep it?
I don't know, I don't think we give anything to Hawkins County, do we? To Hawkins County?
Yeah, I'll go pull it just a moment.
Teresa come in here last year before last, and asked for some, y'all give her
We
1,000.
give her 1,000, that's
Right
that's
here.
annually,
Yeah,
yeah,
So that would be to the.
Surgoinsville instead.
Surgoinsville.
yeah. Yeah, and I don't see that on here, so,
Because.
Yeah, it's on there.
let's see. Where is it?
There may also be items, I've tried my best to update the ones that I have noticed that maybe they were a different item on the budget than what they were in next gen. I don't have an explanation for it, however, I tried to correct them as I go, so I'm not sure what it was on the original budget, if it was corrected or not.
Okay.
Do we give to the library too?
Oh, yeah.
Where's it
That's on the next page, 720.
at? Alright, I'd just like to see it when it get right here.
Okay, but, so we are giving to Hawkins County Historic.
Yes, I can follow up on that as well,
Okay.
I'll make myself a note.
Okay, so, okay, what number is Surgoinsville's
We don't have one.
Historical Society? Methods.
Maybe it's named different. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe, let me just say grab that, yeah, I'll figure it out.
Or is there anything medical board? Because I think medical board owns it. But I don't see anything medical board.
Well, I'm sure the medical board probably donates to the historic, I don't know what they do, but I'm sure they probably do.
I'm thinking maybe that's.
In fact, I think the medical board is doing all that work that they're doing
Yeah.
now on the parking lot, so.
Yeah. I think the museum got a grant.
But that was looking pretty nice, I went by there, I think, this morning, but that's looking pretty nice, that parking. And I think we done something to help the business, I mean, up there, with their parking lot.
Well, they did last week, I wasn't here.
We done something involved.
We hauled some dirt out there. Contractor, he cut a little swale out for the water to drain in that big pond there. Made it where it wouldn't stand. But we hauled 4 loads of dirt, 3 or 4 loads of dirt out of there.
Okay.
Took it to Station 2.
Yeah, I try to go by there tomorrow and see what other, but they probably finished that today, I bet.
No, they like some more concrete being poured.
They did one pour today though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a pour today, and, I think they'll, maybe if it don't rain them out, they could do it maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I never stopped by there today.
Yeah, I'll have to follow up. I'll have to pull it up and see where the checks actually went to. But an update on the cost of, dogs and cats, I was completely wrong. That dog is $125.
Dogs,
Mhm.
125.
Yeah, and that is being taken out of the police department office and operating expenses. Previously, it was under a different code, but they changed to operating.
Well, so should we put that dip maybe by itself? Maybe code
That's one of
enforcement?
the things we'll talk to Travis about, moving code enforcement and then inspector. I just wanted to update you all, $50 was on there.
Okay. so now we were on City Hall, anything else that's about City Hall?
You know, Bishop, are you suggesting purchasing a dehumidifier that downstairs? Is that a thought that comes to mind?
If it's gonna keep destroying stuff, we need to. Get one's got a pump, you can put a hose on and pump it out instead of having to empty it, so,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think they're about $300 or $400 a load, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. Okay. Yeah, it'll even up here and then it'll come back to it. Okay.
Well, while we're doing it, can we take, when we're doing the animal control thing and moving it around
Yes.
at 251, you got veterinary, medical services,
Remove the veterinary.
veterinary.
Yeah. And just leave it medical.
Yes, so we got vet
Hey, is that a
service.
dog or a cat?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
vet services,
Um,
and yes, too.
Yes. Oh, and who's?
Don't we have it in the police department?
Oh, yeah, it is. I get what you're saying, yes. I want to move it. It's in every department. like that.
103 in there, and 129.
Yes, I will update that.
John, when is this tax-free appraisal coming back then?
I didn't hear you.
When does the tax-free appraisal
2
come back?
years.
2 years?
2 years. I talked to, Michael Gillespie about 2 hours ago, and he said, I'm pretty sure he told me 2 years. Not this coming year, but the following year.
There's probably been more large taxpayers that have filed petitions to contest their assessments this year than I've seen in quite a while.
The reappraisal cost for your city, as stated in TCA, blah, 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 is $3,451.86.
Did we hit that 96% collection, or were we at 96?
No, I don't know. It's something, I didn't pull that report.
It's pretty close.
I worded that for a little while.
Okay, so we're done on City Hall, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will move on down to Public Works.
Real quick, the city hall too, I did get a hold of Gary Hicks about the Tennessee flag for out here. He's bringing us one from the Capitol. It flew over the Capitol. And I contacted Harshberger's office, and we're making arrangements for a US flag that flew over the Capitol in Washington. So, good deal.
He's been
That's good.
I'm proud you were out here, man.
Okay, so Public Works and Grounds, look that over. A little bit to look at.
Okay, and update on the financial management, the 701, that's the donation to the Hawkins County Historical Society. That does go to the Surgoinsville Museum.
Okay.
Okay.
So I will update accommodate that the way that it's labeled as well.
If that heat pump down there is that bad shape, don't you guess we need to replace it?
Replace what now?
The heat pump.
Is that something that maybe we could do a budget amendment on after our loan meeting?
Okay.
That way
Well, you know
it's-
what, I mean, it really, if you think about it, it might be, a new pump could save us some money. I mean,
We'll save on
How old is that one down there?
or I don't know, as far as that.
This is the second one, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
You get a strong bigger seeder and all that other stuff, it probably would save you a little bit of money, you know.
I bet it will.
Yeah.
Operating costs, do.
Yeah, operating costs, no.
Yeah.
My operating cost at my house, it's more than half of what it used to be. I put $4,500 light bill when I had my old heat pump. And the biggest light bill I had last year was about $150.
Well, efficiency on those things has changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, is that gas or electric downstairs?
It's gas and electric.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gas, okay.
Yeah, but I can't remember when that one was put in, when you got that,
It's been a long time.
yeah. I'm gonna say 25 years or more.
Yeah, I'd say the efficiency's gone off that thing now.
Yeah, it is replaced. Just, you can get some, see what the estimates are and get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's gonna be a pretty good sized ticket.
The thing that the board, I think, they decided to do is to adopt a budget early, pass it on first reading on April 8th, and perhaps even have a called meeting to pass it on second reading, have the public hearing and publication and all
Get
that.
to the comptroller's office.
Well,
See-
they said 15 days, once they get our budget, 15 days, they were promising. And I've got the lady's direct cell phone, that she would issue the letter.
Well, with that being said, like Megan said, we can do a budget and take care of that. No problem.
Oh,
Because your budget has to be balanced.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can't, we have no choice.
Yeah, you
No.
If you sent a budget in that shows you were spending more than you're taking in, I doubt,
Yeah.
even with the assurances that they would approve it.
No, not this year, not this year. Okay. Well, it's been a good meeting. Everything's going good, I think.
We can do some more next Monday night too, can't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll just dedicate next workshop next week, mostly for this, as far as I'm concerned.
Our normal workshop budget,
Now, won't that be next week?
yeah, we'll have a few things that we need to discuss too, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, we'll take care of it.
Because we've
We'll
got
take care of
extra
our regular
some
business, but we should have some time, I think, like Bob said, to work on this.
We've collected 93% of taxes.
92 is the sweet spot, so.
Is that a state figure?
What, 92? Yeah. Anywhere from 92 to 94, they say is a sweet spot before, all the
hearings and
So where are we at now?
on public works, buildings and grounds. Yeah, if it's okay, then we'll do that and continue next week. That's okay.
Fine.
Hey, on this line item 266, on the repair and maintenance on the building,
Uh,
at some point, we're gonna have to do a little bit of work on that, out there where the salt's at, on that part of that building. I don't know what's gonna be involved in that, but we're gonna have to do some work on
Is that, all that's under roof or is
that. Yeah. Yeah, it's under
or is it
roof.
barely under roof?
It's under roof, but it's rough.
So what work do we need?
Well, the way it's tied in up there on that other building, it's trying to separate away from that other building. So we're gonna have to do some work with that, try to
Okay,
sure that up some.
Is that something we all can do or do we need a contract?
I think we can probably do it. It'll just take, it'll be a little bit of work involved in it, but I think it can be done.
Right.
I know it's showing there like $195 on that, but I guarantee you're gonna spend more than that to try to sure that up. It's, we've had to do some work up to it already, just trying to, where it's trying to separate away from there.
Yeah.
We've worked on it 2 different times, so.
What do you have in, well, you wouldn't have really have any idea until you start getting into it and see what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to go back in there and do some work to it. And problem, hell, the bad thing is you got all that salt in there right now. But we're definitely gonna have to do something with that building at some point.
Is
That
that,
shed.
I mean, I've been out there, but I can't, is that separated pretty good? I mean, kind of the salt by itself or it's not, the salt's not damaging anything, in other words, what I'm saying.
No, I mean, it's where that wall was at, I mean, it's just, I'd say it's probably eating on that concrete a little bit on the block wall, but I mean, there ain't nothing to do about that.
No, not really.
Do you have any idea of what an estimate would be to start? Like if you had to ballpark it, but to get a start on it, what would you think? You know what I mean? Are we talking like 1,000? Are we talking 5,000?
I can at least put 5 there from to start with. And we either use it or you don't use it.
There are purpose-built salt storage buildings that are available, and I don't know what cost they are, but they're kind of like an igloo, and they're designed for storage of road salt.
I know at Churchill, they had like a Quonset hut building we had built.
Yeah, Mount Carmel's got one just like
Yeah,
that.
and they had a wall built up so high, and then they had that built on top
Yeah,
of it.
that's what Mount Carmel is, it does the same thing, my phone's Mount Carmel there. Now, Kingsport put that big, salt cave, as they call it.
Yeah, well, where we're at right there, we don't have room
You
enough.
ain't got
to
room
put
to do
anything.
nothing there.
No, there's not no room there anyway.
They got a lot more area to cover than what we do, so.
I mean, that's just a guess on that. I don't know, get into it, it may be a little more than that, I don't know. Those materials, so high.
Well, I was talking to them at Liberty the other day, OSB's $15.35 a board, and the next load is $22 a board.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that on that building there with the salvage,
Yeah.
and Donnie had talked about it before, raised it up a little higher, put it over the other roof, and raise it up, because when we start, the way we have to go in there, the tractor bucket or backhoe, whatever, hits that top. One end of it never been blocked up. There was tied into the building, so it's gonna have to be blocked, center blocked up. But we had talked about raising it above the main building.
Yeah, give it a little bit of leverage on it, because when I'm going in there putting salt in it now, well, I had to get that salt in there, and I mean, it's it's in there, but it's all the way to the door. And I put the four-wheel drive in, I was actually climbing that salt, put that salt in.
And that tarp out there, it's the only thing holding it
Yeah.
so far in the back.
Why don't you come back next week with a better suggestion?
The what now?
Look at it in depth and come back next week and tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the blocks will run anywhere from 2 1/4 to, if you're using 12, it'll be about $2.50 a piece delivered, and 8s will be about.
They block up what, about
4 foot.
about 4 foot?
Block now?
Yeah,
Mhm.
in the rear.
You'd have to, when you do them, you lay them, you'd have to fill them full of concrete.
But we
Blow up.
we could do like we did on the side of it, just put some plate across it, build what's in there full of concrete, build a plate on it, and then build the rest up with salt treated lumber.
Yeah.
That might be the easier thing to do.
Yeah, because right now, you get in there and lay mud and stuff, it's gonna get on that salt and stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be where it's at now, I think you could build it up. But it does need to go higher, because where we're trying to put that salt in there, you know, if you're not careful, you're just about hitting that roof up there, and I have bumped it with that tractor more than one time. And I ain't no way you can't get out of it. So,
Well, between now and then, you all look at it, and I think, yeah. And just give us an idea of what you have to do.
okay.
Yeah.
If we do that, we probably need to do that in the middle of summer when we're not looking at rain or anything, where we've got time to, if we have to raise that, where we can get that roof off there and it's just not sitting in the red.
Yeah.
Big rain, you know, especially, well, you might get a thunderstorm or something, but I mean, it's just trying to keep sun out for that salt draws enough moisture as it is, it's totally hard to rot.
Okay.
Too bad you can't get the old preservative and get some salt on it. Get some good old preservative.
No, not,
Even though railroads still use it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
Chris,
also out there, it says on the ground, chain link fence around the whole building's falling down. The gate is horrible. We've worked on it, got it, you know, where it's open and closing it. And it's just rusted all to pieces, bent over the years.
Well, let us get this budget approved and then we'll do budget amendments to do whatever we need to do.
we'll do a wish list.
But we need to go ahead and do what you're talking about.
well, I'm scared that if we don't do something with it, there's a possibility that that roof collapses on that thing.
Yeah, if that happens, it's no telling what damage it'll do the rest of the.
Well, all the salt that we've got in there now, I mean, with that outside wall, If it's already got pressure on that wall, then it's pulling on that roof up there where it's pulling on that, so it's,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to definitely try to do something with that.
On the other general government, our next item, let's talk more about that next week. And I'll go through my folder and update all those numbers to be what I received in the mail. Because I did not have a chance to do that, so that's strictly just going off of an estimate of what we've already spent for this year. So,
Okay. Okay, so anything else on the public works and building? You all come back next week, see?
Yeah, we'll have to look at it and just see.
Okay. Okay,
Can I ask a question, I guess Bob, maybe? When, who done the ceiling on the park down there?
get the bathroom?
No, the track. Who
Oh, Turner, favor.
Turner?
No.
Did you go down there and inspect it when they said they were done?
No,
You did.
I did not go down and inspect it, but I did walk it. Well, I take it back, Randy, I did.
Did you tell them that they hadn't done what they were supposed to do?
They did do what they were supposed to do, and no, I did not, because I thought they was coming back, and they didn't, because the machine tore up, and those cracks that they filled in had sunk in very badly.
They shorted us in some areas. I mean, they just, a little thin coat, especially on the lower side close to the river, I mean, bad. And then up near the cow pasture in the far corner up in the right, I mean, there's cracks that they definitely not sealed.
I'll get with Turner's tomorrow, because he was supposed to come back and redo all them.
We need to follow up.
Yeah.
We shouldn't ever pay them before. We need to start inspecting stuff before we pay the bill. Would you not agree?
There should be a receiving report that shows
Some
that
type of inspection or something that we're satisfied with the, and I just started walking again yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was out there.
Oh, I've noticed the cracks.
And the more I walked, the more ticked I got, and I thought, well, they did a real shoddy job. I mean, they didn't complete.
I'll give it to him, first thing in the morning.
Okay.
I got a question, it's not related to the budget, see if anybody knows, Kathy Bogdan, out there with Jack Pearson. That is a subdivision, that's not a city street, is it, Bob?
Yeah.
Is it a
Yeah.
city street?
Yeah, Hickory Lane.
Yeah, she's not happy with the street, and they can't turn into their house, and so on, and, I don't know, I didn't know, I thought, well, I'll find out if that's actually a city street, so that's a city street.
Yeah, there's an island in the middle of that, right
Yeah,
there in
that's-
front of her driveway.
Yeah.
She brought that to us a long time ago, and I went out there and looked at it, and I told them at the time to pull the median out of it. But
That's exactly what I told her.
And then, I think Jack said, no, we ain't pulling it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Jack, and he told me the same thing, he said, no, we're not for touching the road, we want it left the way it is, what he told me. And I told her, which at the time, I didn't know, if it was, I don't know, but anyway, that's something maybe we can give Jack an address at some point in
That was
time.
me and Donnie went out there and marked it, where we was gonna cut it, and then all.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
We
we
were
did.
going to,
Yeah,
and clean it out,
and he said
and
no.
Jack said no.
No, that is burned our line. Okay, that's all I had. So, I mean, I think we've had some good discussion, I'm real happy with it. We'll do this again. Monday night. So Monday night is 5:30 or 6?
5 5:30 for
Hey,
the.
we better do 5 o'clock.
It is,
We get that.
it is 5, right? And then 6 o'clock. Oh,
6 o'clock
I'm
is the regular
confused.
meeting.
I think it's
Next week, it's what work
Yeah.
is.
work
next
sessions
week,
are
just
5:30, VMA is 6.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Two things.
oh, okay, sorry, Dave.
One, the property next to the maintenance facility that's for sale, it might be possible to use part of the local ARPA funds to purchase that. But the board's gonna have to make a decision about the ARPA funds because those are the cities or the town's match for the sewer line extension to the 4-lane. And so that's the decision that the board's gonna have to really think about those funds.
Travis told us, Merle, he said, I'm telling you, Travis, I'm not telling you the state of Tennessee. He said, go to the bank and borrow the money.
What?
He said,
Well, can I, well, you want to do it quick?
well, here,
I
Yes.
guess here.
If you don't do it quick, it's gonna be down.
yeah.
Well,
Well, didn't he offer to finance it for 3 years?
Yes.
but can we issue public debt right now?
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And here, if we can get this budget done real quick, here's what I suggest, because you remember, we voted on taking that money and replacing what we spent back in the ARPA fund. Get the budget done real quick, get the loan approved and in here, and use that, dedicate that for the purchase. Would that? But I know the time, we're in a time crunch, but
Yeah, because he does have another party interest.
even if we,
Will you talk to him, James?
I can go up there and see him, yeah.
but my
Tell him,
question is whether we
you know, our
can do
position.
public. I'm all for it, I don't know that we can issue public debt right now.
I'm not sure either, but
Whether you borrow from the bank or not, you still have to have the approval of the comptroller.
But, you know, Travis told me, and Megan sitting in there.
Well, that's,
so that would include a debt to Tim.
that's just any kind of debt. The second thing, and I was here on Friday, and one of the things that was discussed was reclassifying some of the expenses in the sewer fund that should properly be classified as a capital item. And that's going to change the profit and loss status more favorably. But all of those things are going to take time. We're going to have to cooperate between Rhoda for Loss, the auditors. MTAS has done the town a real service with their assistance. But there may be some other things in the financials for this year generally that might also need to be reclassified. But that's going to be a real project for the next 3 months.
Okay, one option for that property though would be maybe reassess, what our money from the ARPA's going and see what we can maybe shake loose out of that.
You could, if the board wishes, you might be able to engage in a lease of the property with a purchase option.
And have we officially committed them ARPA funds yet? I know Ken says we have,
The town has submitted a preliminary engineering report for the extension to the 4-lane. And so that's the project, that's the only project that you have going forward. Megan talked to Ken Thursday about a question. He said, no, you've made your bed, you've got to lie in it.
Yeah, we had to submit a plan, I think by December, wasn't it, to first
Yeah, it's a
development?
preliminary engineering report.
Yeah. So,
That's what was
and that
approved.
kind of commits us, right?
Yeah,
What
so
you
you're-
say.
Well, you don't have an alternative. It's been approved.
Yeah.
As far as the land goes, I think my thoughts are, is it would put us in a financial situation to go ahead and purchase it, but again, it's land, they're not gonna make more of it, the location is, A+ for what our needs are. So I think we talk to the gentleman and see if he'd be willing to give us, 2 months, and that would give us time to do all of our hearings, get our budget approved, and hopefully have that 15-day turnaround. And if we get the trash truck loan, then I think that would put us in a better situation financially to make that purchase. And if we don't get it, then we can let him know and look at alternatives.
I agree with the lease purchase thing, if we can get a lease purchase set up with him and get it started, that lease sale hold it for us, and if we got to where we couldn't afford it, we just said we just can't do it.
I think Tim would do that, don't you, John?
Yeah.
I heard it.
Do we have we got cash to do it
We could do it
and
today,
anticipate that we're gonna get that loan.
but that is not.
But I mean,
That's
We
a
would-
big if first.
Well, I'm telling you, we've got to get this budget
Yes.
submitted. I mean, we got to. And if we do, then we've got the cash flow there to replace.
Yeah.
And we just gotta commit ourselves that this is what we're gonna do.
When you're talking about that cash flow coming in, do we have to do it for that, or can we do it more?
Oh, we've got revenue in our reserve fund to buy the property. But with that said, we would have, as a board, we'd have to commit, let's push this budget through to ensure our loan.
Yeah.
Well, you're not gonna be able to buy a new HVAC system, you're not gonna.
Or all these these stuff that
Yeah.
we want to buy, we'd have to.
But my question is, the loan with like garbage truck, that we're waiting on getting approved, can we go for more, or does it have to be just for that amount?
It's the amount that's already
Okay.
agreed.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure, right?
Yeah, we couldn't change it.
Couldn't change it, okay.
We got that rate.
But once we get.
Well, heck, you've
that-
already made payments on the garbage truck. I mean, you paid for it.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but I understand that, but
But we got,
I'm just looking down the road at something else,
but once they give us that letter, then we can see whatever
but, yeah,
loans we want.
okay.
Jack, just go to Tim tomorrow and talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he would give us 2 months, that would be enough time for us to have a turnaround, and it may be earlier than that. The only issue with going ahead and paying it now is it's gonna make our day-to-day operating extremely tight. If the trash truck breaks down and it's a $20,000 expense,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
those are the things that kinda come to my mind, or the brush truck, whatever.
Okay, anything else?
I'm hungry.
Well, I will say, if anybody wants to see the security system, it's on the wall in there.
It's very impressive, I think. Very.
And you say Monday night you're bringing food, right?
No, that was Bob. And I will give the maintenance people, guys, credit. They got up in that attic and done all of it. All I had to do was the electronics.
Wow.